Okay, here we go. Okay, so this week we're exploring our warriors. Um, Warrior is a very basic and ancient pose in yoga. When yoga was first developed thousands of years ago, there were only maybe 15, 20 poses, and then over time, more and more were added, with the most uh, majority of poses added in the 20th century. But um, so the warriors date back forever, and the beauty of the warriors, Virabhadrasana. Vira means hero, Bhadra means friend, asana is pose or seat. So Virabhadra is your warrior friend, your hero friend, yourself. So you are the warrior. And there's a story that goes with it of how Lord Shiva was angry, extremely angry, because his wife killed herself, and he was angry with her father because he blamed him, and he went crazy. He was so filled with grief, he wanted revenge. So he pulled a lock of hair from his head, he threw it to the earth, and up from the earth came Warrior One. And then he wanted to set his sights on Sati's, his wife's father, to go after him, to kill him. So he set his sights with Warrior Two. And with Warrior Three, that's the charge into battle. So what happened, making a very long story short, is that in the end, after he got his revenge, he realized it solved nothing. And so he realized he needed to look inside himself, and Lord Shiva, being a god, was able to bring his wife back. The moral of the story is simply that we have the power within ourselves to fix things, to meet our challenges. We're always looking outside of ourselves. We're always looking for answers outside, but we hold the answers inside, our internal divinity, our soul. And we also, makes no sense to let anger is a good thing, but never to let it turn to hatred or turn to revenge. It serves no purpose. So with that, let's begin a warm-up before we get to our warriors. So send your left hand out to the side, plant it down on the mat, bend your left elbow, bring your right arm alongside your right ear, and stretch. Inhaling and exhaling. Every time you exhale, perhaps you can stretch just a little bit more. Inhale up to center. Exhale the other side. Same thing, bend your elbow so that your shoulder drops. Stretch your fingers away so that you stretch your whole left side body. Inhale and exhale, maybe you can stretch a little bit more. Inhale, come back to center, bring your arms down by your side. Inhale and then exhale, bring your right hand to your left knee, turn to look over your left shoulder. With every inhale, feel your spine lengthening. Feel your spine getting longer. Feel your ribs moving north of your pelvis. Feel the length. And when you empty of breath, when you're completely empty, giving you more space inside, turn a little bit more, twist a little bit more. Inhale both arms to center. Exhale, twist to the opposite side, and you're doing the same thing here. Your right hand is close to your body, encouraging that long spine. And same thing, on your inhale, you'll get taller, and after your exhale, maybe you'll twist just a little bit more. Bring both arms up alongside your ears on an inhale, twist back to center. Inhale, exhale, let your arms come back behind you. Send your knuckles to the earth. Look up just a little bit. This is a very gentle back bend. And release it. Send your legs straight out in front of you, shake them out. Okay. And you're coming to Dandasana, which means your legs are straight out in front of you, your feet are flexed, your hands are alongside your hips, fingers pointing forward, elbows moving back behind you. All of your leg muscles are engaged. Inhale, exhale. Or you can just inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Bring your hands down by your side. This time we're going to add our knees. So that means on the inhale, you bend your knees, you keep your feet flexed. On the exhale, point and straighten. Inhale, bend and flex. Exhale, point and straighten. Inhale, bend and flex. Exhale, point and straighten. Add your arms as you like. Not necessary. And then let your legs relax straight out in front of you. Okay. So we're going to come now just for a little bit on into a child's pose. And remember, in your child's pose, you want your wrists under your shoulders, or if you have wrist issues, you could step your hands just one step farther in front of you. Your arms are rotated so that the crease of your elbow comes toward your index fingers. Your knees are under your hips, and we're going to start with cats and dogs. So let your heart reach for the mat and come between your arms. I know I did say child's pose, didn't I? Hands and knees is what we're doing. Sorry about that. And arch to the sky in your cat spine. Push into the mat, feel your shoulder blades spreading. Inhale, curl to a U shape. Exhale, keep going at your own pace, allowing you to And next time you're in cat, we will send our hips to our heels and come to child's pose. hands and slide your hands back to your knees and come to stand on your knees. Okay, good. Okay, sorry. Back to our knees. All right. So you're going to, if you need to bring one hand down to the mat, that's fine, to bring your right leg forward. And I'm going to move back a little so you can see my whole leg. All right. So you want the heel of your foot in line with your hip, so it shouldn't be over here or inside, so it should be nice and straight. And you're going to walk it away from you just a little bit, so that there's a slight angle on your back thigh. And again, heel toe your foot away from you. You're going to inhale. You're going to exhale your arms all the way up to the sky for Warrior One. Bring your hands together. Look up at your prayer. All warriors say a prayer before going into battle. Bring it down to your heart. Now walk your leg all the way over to the back of your mat, to the short edge of your mat, and bring your heel so that it's opposite your knee, this knee, the supporting knee, and walk your foot away. So remember, when we're in any weight-bearing pose, you don't ever want your knee to come past your ankle. So this is a safe distance that my foot is, and there's a slight angle here because that's exactly the way you would be if we were standing. So now your shoulders are facing me. We're both square with each other. Your arms are straight out, palms facing down. You're going to look over your right fingers, left fingers, whichever they are, in the direction of your knee. You're going to bring your back hand down. Your forward hand comes up to the sky for a peaceful warrior. You're going to come back to Warrior Two. You're going to release your hands and bring your knee back to the mat. Take your time. Right. You're going to send your left leg out in front of you. And again, here too, your heel and your sits bone is lined up. You're walking your foot away so that there's a nice angle on your back supporting knee, thigh. And up from the earth comes Warrior One. Bring your hands together in a prayer and down to your heart. Walk your foot over to the side, the short edge of the mat. Heel is opposite supporting knee, and you'll walk that foot away just a little bit so that there's, again, that nice angle like we would have when we were standing for Warrior Two. So now Warrior Two, again, make sure your knee is in line with the middle of your toes. And Warrior Two, is sizing up the battle, the challenge, whatever it is we're facing that we need to deal with as warriors. Bring your back hand down to your thigh. Your forward hand comes up for a peaceful warrior. Peaceful warrior. Come back to warrior two. Bring your hands down. You can bring your hands to the mat if it helps you to get your leg back where it was. Okay, so now warrior three. So we're all ready. We rose from the earth. We've set our sights. Now we need to come into our challenging warrior. So if it's a problem for you to bring your arms out, then just send them straight up. They could also stay at your heart. All right? So we're actually going to try it that way today, with our hands at our heart instead of up over our heads. Inhale and exhale, send your hips back behind you. You're bringing your nose to point to the mat. Because if your arms were straight out, they would be alongside your ears. If they stay by your heart, you need to keep that prayer pointing forward. Warrior two, and you can come down as far as you wish for your warrior, and then make your way all the way up. Bring your hands down alongside your body. All right, excellent. Very good. So we've done all three warriors on our knees. So while we're here on our knees, there's just one more pose I'd like us to do, just because it helps us in balancing for warrior three. So let's come back to our hands and knees. And you're going to send your right leg back behind you. Make sure you have your alignment. Lift your right leg up. And then send your left arm alongside your ear if this is possible. If not, just keep your arm down on the mat. The idea here, this is actually warrior three. This is the pattern for warrior three. So imagine that your bent knee, you were standing, you were straight. Yeah. And here you use your core muscles to help you stay away from the floor, from the earth, to keep you floating in air, and it's the same thing you do with warrior three. Bring your hand down, bring your knee down. Let's do that on the other side. Left leg out behind you. Lift it up, no more than hip high. It could be just a little bit. It doesn't have to even go all the way. And if possible, right arm alongside, if this is comfortable for you, alongside your ear. Again, patterning for warrior two. Keep those core muscles helping to keep you upright. Bring your hands down, bring your knees down, and come to a child's pose. And you're going to send your arms out in front of you. They don't have to be all the way. Come up onto your knees, and you're going to make your way up to stand. So however you get up, do it slowly and easefully. Okay. So we're going to start with warrior one. Making sure you can see me okay. I'm always checking to make sure that the internet's working okay. So come on to the ball of your right foot. And you're going to step it back so that it's flat on the mat. Now, when you step back, it could be here, it could be wherever it is, it could be all the way back here. Whatever you are comfortable with, whatever your body allows. So get your footing, look down, take a look and make sure your legs are in their own tracks. Make sure your back leg, your foot is at a slight angle and it's flat on the floor. You're supporting one of your two supporting pedestals. Your left leg is moving a little bit forward to ensure that your knee doesn't come past your ankle, forward of your ankle. And check that your knee is tracking over the middle of your toes. You're going to send your arms swinging back behind you. And you're going to watch this warrior grow up from the earth to come into being, your own inner warrior. Bring your hands together in a prayer pose. All warriors say that prayer and bring it down to your heart. Send your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers, Yoga Mudra. Make sure your hips are as square as possible to the front of the mat. You're going to inhale and you're going to exhale, and you're going to come as far forward as is comfortable for your body. It could be here, it could be here, it could be here. We're not going to go any farther than that today. And then come all the way back up. Release your arms and step forward. Okay, so other side. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Step it back, and once again, you decide, let your body decide what the distance is from your front and back foot. Try to get your hips squared. Remember that warrior comes up from the earth. Your warrior, your inner warrior to help you fight every battle. Your feet are pushing into the mat. This is your support, your strength, your legs, your connection with the earth, Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. Bring your hands together in a prayer and bring that prayer down to your heart. Send your arms behind you, Yoga Mudra. A little bit of a back bend here. A little bit like we did earlier, just a little bit. Inhale and exhale, and you're going to come forward as far as you wish to today. Take your time. And then you're going to push your feet into the mat, giving you more stability, and let your knuckles help lead you back up. Release your arms. Step forward. All right. You may wish to switch your mat around or just turn around to come to the long edge of your mat so that your feet will always be on your mat. So I'll give you a minute if you're switching your mat around. And you're going to open your legs nice and wide. Your toes are pointing to the long edge of your mat. They're pointing in the same direction as your nose. You're going to turn your left foot so that your toes are pointing away from you or to the short edge if your mat is horizontal. And you're going to bend that knee. You're going to make sure your knee tracks over your middle toes and that your knee doesn't go past your ankle. And that doesn't mean you have to get wider. You can also do that here, you just don't bend as far. Okay, so it could be here or it could be all the way out here. Whatever works for you, your body, your yoga. Send your arms straight out, palms facing down, looking over the fingers that are over your bent knee, sizing up your challenge, coming up with a strategy. Bring your back hand to your thigh, your front arm overhead, peaceful warrior. We do not harm. Right. Come back to warrior two. Swivel your foot so that both your feet are going in the same direction as your nose, and we're going to do that on the other side. So your other foot is facing the short edge of the mat, or that way. Okay. And you'll bend your knee. Again, either walk your foot away or don't bend it quite so much so that it doesn't go past your ankle, to protect your knee. Send your arms straight out to the side. Bring your back hand down. Allow your left arm overhead for peaceful warrior. Come back to your warrior two. Maybe peaceful warrior didn't give you enough time to size up your challenge, to get it in focus, to understand it. And now bring both arms down, point both toes, all 10 toes in the same direction as your nose, and walk your feet together. Okay, so we're going to do warrior three. We're going to take a couple of breaths first. And warrior three will depend entirely on your range. Typically, we would have blocks, but I'm sure that at home you don't have blocks. You could use a chair if you have one handy. Otherwise, we're going to do it this way. This is a very gentle version of warrior three. So you're going to come to Tadasana, mountain pose. So in mountain pose, your shoulders over your hips over your ankles, your belly towards your spine. You're using your core to lengthen your spine. You're going to send your shoulders forward, up, back, and down, getting ready. Crown of your head reaching up for the sky, for the heavens, as your feet is firmly grounded. Let's do that once more. Forward, up, back, and down. Excellent. So from mountain, you're going to step your right foot back. Just a little bit. And your arms can be up overhead alongside your ears or by your heart, whichever you prefer. And you'll bend your supporting knee a little bit. This is going to help you. And you're simply going to lift your back foot off the mat. That's all there is to it for the gentle version. Now, if you feel you can come down a little bit more, or a little bit more, keep your knee bent. Keep your supporting knee bent. Or a little more. That's up to you. Okay? And release it. Back to your mountain. Send your left leg back behind you. You're on the ball of your left foot. Your right leg is supporting you. And we're going to try it with our arms overhead. You're going to bend your supporting knee a little bit, and you're just going to lift your back foot up. And that's your warrior. It's all it needs to be. If you want to keep going, you may. Otherwise, go as far as you're comfortable going. And then come back to center. Excellent, warriors. Okay. So After all those warriors, we should make our way back down to the mat to do a few cooling exercises. So come on down to your mat. And you're going to sit down and you're going to send your legs straight out in front of you. So take your time getting there. I'll wait. Your feet are flexed. Your leg muscles are engaged. Dandasana. You're going to send your arms straight out in front of you. You're going to inhale and you're going to exhale, and as slow as possible, you're going to make your way down to the mat. The slower you go, the more work for your core. Come all the way down. And when you feel you've gone as far as you can, bring your forearms down on the mat and let yourself come down gently the rest of the way. And just rest for a moment. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Bring your knees into your chest and hug them, and roll from side to side. Bring one hand on each knee and allow your knees to stay close to your chest. Then separate your knees, sending them to their respective sides all the way out. Then you're going to push them forward, bring them back together, and then back to your chest. So you're making circles, two separate circles with your legs. So one is going clockwise, one is going counterclockwise. And you'll notice that when your knees go forward, you have that arch in your back, and when they come toward your chest, it flattens to the mat. So we're giving our lower back a little bit of a workout in addition to our hip joints and our hips. And then the next time your knees are to your chest, go the other direction. And then bring your knees back into your chest. Bring your feet to the mat. Cross right ankle over left thigh. Bring your left leg into your chest. Take hold of the back of your thigh. Your right foot is flexed, and you're going to use your right elbow to try and push your right knee a little bit farther away from you. So the ultimate objective would be to have a nice straight parallel line with your shin to your chest or to the earth. And that's just an objective. It's not where you need to be now or anytime. Lengthen your left leg and begin to rotate your foot on your ankle so that you can give your ankle a little exercise here, a little workout. And go in both directions, and then point and flex, point and flex. Uncross your leg, release your leg, bring both feet to the mat. Cross left over right. Bring your right thigh, your whole leg into your chest, your knee, your elbow pushing your knee away, your left foot is flexed. Send your right leg straight up to the sky. And let's do that thing with our ankle. Rotating both directions, pointing and flexing, pointing and flexing. And breathe. Release your leg, uncross your legs, bring your feet down to the mat. If you have a block or something, I think a blanket could work very well to come behind your hips, right up against your hips, and come down and send your legs up to the sky for a gentle inversion. Your arms, you can do whatever you like with them. You can stretch them out to the side, send them up as if you were reaching for your feet. Keep them alongside your hips. Whatever you prefer, come to a cactus shape. Make it effortless and comfortable. Allow your legs to sway if they wish to. If that is the natural inclination, imagine seaweed at the bottom of the ocean swaying with the current. And then eventually come to stillness. And when you're ready, make your way into Shavasana. So you'll lift your hips. If you have a blanket underneath, move it out of the way. Stretch one leg out on the mat. Stretch the other out on the mat. Both your arms are slightly away from your body with the palms of your hands cupped upward towards the heavens. Feel your whole back body surrendering to gravity. Feel it get heavy. Allowing your joints and muscles to reset. Allowing all the energy you generated to assimilate into your body. Om Namah Shivaya. I surrender to transformation and welcome the changes that will lead me to who I am. Hi, Jean.